been a little chilly here with the temperature this morning, starting the day off at 59 degrees. Yes, Thailand can get cold, especially up in the mountains during the winter, but nothing like in Montana. Yes, I know this young lady is not wearing a t-shirt, but I had to add it to my 50-state collection. This is a fairly common occurrence here in Thailand, with many Thais dressed up for a polar expedition in 90-degree weather. The main problem that I have when it gets cold in Thailand is the simple fact that it gets confusing. Why? Everything is in Celsius. This is a look at the temperature of our Chevrolet. Do I have it set on freezing or is it hot outside? Many years ago, Dee and I were touring the mountains of northern Thailand when I noticed a bunch of cars parked alongside the road. Traffic was backed up, so we decided to follow suit and park to see what the attraction was. It turned out to be frost on the ground. Montana is well known for being buffalo country. For example, there is the National Bison Range, which has a fairly large herd. Additionally, there are numerous ranches that raise buffalo to eat. Now, I've never eaten a buffalo steak, although I've tasted some bison jerky, and it tasted just like jerky always tastes. Thailand also has a few wild buffaloes, but not nearly as many as Montana has. So when a Thai friend invited me to tag along to a national park to shoot some water buffaloes, I was all in. His name is Joe, and he's an advisor with the United Nations concerning communities living in and around national parks. Joe and I never carry any rifles, but our guides do. It's not so much for protection from the wildlife. Sadly, it is mankind that creates the danger, as there is poachers in the jungle who often shoot and kill park rangers. Here you can see us as we begin our trek into the jungle. We walked for hours. Unfortunately, we never did see any water buffaloes, but we were able to see quite a few gaurs, also known as the Indian bison. This bovine is native to Southeast Asia. Even shooting from a distance, I could tell these creatures are humongous. I was told that they are even bigger than the Asian water buffalo and the American bison. As a side note, on the long walk back to our camp, our guide stopped and pointed out this footprint of a tiger. Apparently the tiger had been following us earlier in the day. Maybe this is why there's not a lot of wild buffaloes in Thailand, but in reality it is because their range is dwindling. The water buffaloes have always been a part of Thai people's livelihood, especially in rural areas where agriculture is the dominant industry. However, in today's world, most of the buffaloes have been replaced by the iron buffalo. And usually once a year, the villagers hold races to see who has the fastest machine. Regardless, there are still a few folks that raise water buffalo, both for the meat and as an expensive hobby.
The one, the beautiful buffalo.
อันนั้นพ่อควาย
Oh, this is the
อันนี้ลูกควายที่กำลังควายกัน
Well, hello there. What's your name? Do I smell that bad?
Huh?
Do you see the bullshit behind me? The world's got a lot of it. Speaking of crap, let's talk politics. I think Granny hit the nail on the head.
How come you cooked up such a big batch? You fixing to tonic the whole town of Beverly Hills?
That's just a starter. Then I'm going to commence on the rest of the country.
Everybody?
No, just the Democrats and the Republicans.
They need tonicking, do they?
Why, Ted, they is in such bad shape. One party can't walk and the other one can't even stand up.
You know why Montana is often called Big Sky Country? The explanation is simple, in so much as there's not a lot of people living there and hardly any skyscrapers. There's a lot of sky to see, and rural Thailand is much the same way. you remember this sound? If you do, that means you are probably old like me. This was the beginning of the internet, and back then it was a dial-up connection that never seemed to work on the first try. Nowadays it seems as though the internet is almost everywhere in the world. Coverage is available to most of the homes in Montana, but due to the rural nature of the state, less than 5% of the residents can get download speeds higher than 100 megabytes per second. Most people usually get speeds between 75 and 100. I know that is a lot of numbers and facts, but at the end of the day, Thailand has a great internet system, much better than many of the states. For example, I live out in the boonies, and here is my internet speed. The truth is that I know very little about the technology side of the internet. All I do know is that we have a fiber optic cable and is mostly boring.
The internet costs us about 1,600 baht or $50 per month.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the Mile High State.